Angel kept getting the ball down there off rebounds or passes, and it just seemed like it would get stripped or blocked. What did you see that was preventing her from getting in the flow of the offense today?
I think it was just some of them were just rushed. That was really it. I think it was just rushed. But I mean, Angel knows that we have confidence in her, just like Camilla.
What if I told you that Angel Reese could need a timeout from her own ego since Coach Tyler Marsh just dropped a huge truth bomb? Yes, the story of stat padding finally received the reality check it was due. It's also not attractive. You see, Angel had one very good chance. Play wisely, keep quiet, and perhaps blend in with the WNBA as half of the league does. But instead of being someone who hoards rebounds like it's a Black Friday sale on Hustle, she had to brag about herself and make comparisons to a player who truly produces. This halftime locker room roast is going to be explosive, so get ready.
We want Camilla and Angel to be good at what they do already. We want to continue to highlight their strength. We also want to continue to improve and figure out ways where they can score easily, or they can still be effective defensively. I think it's important to understand, though, that even though they're kind of the cornerstones of the franchise, that
an embarrassment. What an absolute embarrassment.
When it came to Angel Reese's performance, if you can even call it that, Coach Tyler Marsh didn't hold back. He referred to it as a master lesson in stat padding under the pretext of hustle. In actuality, Angel might have simply participated in the game, gone unnoticed, and perhaps gained some modest respect like many other players in the league. However, she made the decision to put on a show, brag, and draw a direct line to a player who is far more talented and intelligent than her. She made a spectacle rather than a statement, clinging to meaningless statistics like prizes while the scoreboard revealed a much harsher reality.
And any of our guards that penetrate into the paint and get looks at the rim, we have constant belief and confidence in all of our players to be able to make those, and now it's just a matter of doing it.
Now, everyone is waiting to see if Angel Reese can support her big talk. Fans, experts, photographers, and even that guy with the binoculars and nosebleeds. She couldn't, spoiler alert. At that point, the career fast break became a triple dribble catastrophe.
Wow. I've never seen anything like it. I've never seen anything like it about the Angel Reese game. And after that game yesterday, there's no lying anymore. And honestly, there's no lying. Everything that I stand by, I triple stand by every single thing that I've said. If Angel Reese is the first option, your team is going to be the...
Angel's mouth was a missed free throw in overtime, if quiet is indeed golden. She essentially threw the ball up, boasted about her skill, as if she were the next big thing in basketball, and then dribbled right into a brick wall of reality. Because it is a career turnover with little chance of a clean pass when you talk big, but the highlights don't reflect it.
Chicago Sky head coach admits Angel Reese mistake. So, let's see what they done said, man. The Chicago Sky broke a WNBA record for having the worst point discrepancy through 2 games at -6.
It wasn't simply the stat padding that Coach Marsh pointed out. He made it apparent that Angel's performance was akin to witnessing someone attempt to prepare fine dining with a microwave. There was a lot of commotion, little grace, and an outcome that made everyone question why the kitchen was still open. She seems to be playing her own game, focusing on numbers, without realizing that basketball isn't about completing stat sheets. It's about not embarrassing oneself during prime time, winning games, and gaining respect.
Who's the best player in the country?
To the media or me? I feel like I'm the best player in the country.
Are you fucking serious? Best player in the country. Bong. Best player in the country. Bong. 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 Best player in the country. Look at this. Bong. Wide open layup. Best player in the country.
While Angel is still learning how to play checkers, Caitlin Clark, the player Angel so badly wanted to be like, is out here playing chess. Angel's highlight film is only a blooper reel of missed layups and self-centered moves, whereas Clark's vision, skill, and pure court IQ make her the MVP highlight reel star. This is the true tale. She was ill-prepared for the spotlight that Angel's large mouth brought upon her. She stumbled over her own ego rather than stepping up to the plate. Perhaps she would have been just another name in the WNBA roster shuffle if she had remained silent. However, boasting made her a target. Every error is now amplified. Every failure makes headlines. Every poor play also becomes an internet meme. It's a lesson in humility combined with advice on how to avoid ending your career before it truly begins. Because sometimes the best move, both in basketball and in life, is to know when to stop talking and let your game speak for itself. Sadly, Angel's game is still in the warm-up phase. And that large mouth, well, it's making a quick getaway.
Caitlin Clark last night went off for 27 points and 11 assists, and in her sophomore season, Clark now has the most 25 points, 10 assist games in WNBA history. She has only played in 42 games in her entire WNBA career, and she already has the record for this. But she also has now tied Courtney Vandersloot for the most 20-point, 10-assist games in WNBA history. And guys, if you look at this screenshot here, it's actually kind of wild. So Caitlin Clark has 10 games with 20 points and 10 assists, and she reached that milestone in only 42 games. And as you can see, Courtney Vandersloot, who holds that record, reached it in 40.
About Angel Reese versus Caitlin Clark thing. To all the black people out here trying to make it a racial issue, y'all delusional. Angela Reese is garbage. Pure garbage. In terms of skill set, her versus Caitlin, she's garbage. She plays like a toddler. There's no finesse, no smoothness, no beauty, no poetry, no skill set to her game at all. She's garbage. Stop.
Coach Marsh's criticism wasn't merely an aside, though. It was a full-court press, a warning to anyone who believes that talking big makes you large. There is more to Angel's stat padding than just laziness. Even the benchwarmers are giggling at this joke. Let's just say that the WNBA might be better off paying for silence for a player who threatened to quit if she wasn't compensated. Thanks to Coach Tyler Marsh's absurd criticism, let's examine this whirling tornado in more detail. This is just the beginning of a season that is going to be a masterclass in what not to do on a basketball court. So if you thought the drama was done after the missed shots and astounding ego trips, you're mistaken, my friend. Let's first examine what is meant by stat padding. For those who don't know, stat padding is the practice of a player chasing points, rebounds, assists, and numbers because it makes them appear good on paper rather than because it helps the team win. It's similar to someone attempting to make an impression at a party by describing all the complimentary samples they were able to obtain rather than participating in the discussion. Angel, on the other hand, has a tendency to focus more on the numbers than the team's victories.
Yeah, it's not going to be often that we have, a ton of nights like this.
And the foul call that preceded the technical foul, it looked like you were arguing with that as well. Did you see it differently, or did you think it was more based on the reaction from New York's bench?
I think I just fight for my players. Just leave it at that.
Do you recall Angel Reese's warning to quit if she wasn't paid what she believed she was due? Audacious move, huh? Here's the worst part, though. Even while she was boasting about how valuable she was, her on-court performance didn't exactly shout investment opportunity. It was more like witnessing someone attempt to market desert oceanfront real estate. The professional fast break stalled before it had a chance to gain momentum since the reality didn't live up to the hype. Now think about this. The majority of athletes who aspire to be famous are aware of the golden rule. Let your game speak for itself. However, Angel chose to change course and let her tongue write checks that her game was unable to cash. The outcome? Every pass she declined to make, every missed layup, and every stat-stuffed box score became fodder for pundits, experts, and even casual basketball fans who, overnight, transformed into knowledgeable commentators. It has an almost poetic quality. It was more than simply a poor basketball move for Angel to refuse to throw the ball to open teammates. It served as a metaphor for her entire strategy. Self-centered, naive, and ultimately ineffective. It's not a one-woman show in basketball. Despite what Angels emphasize, real dreams may lead you to assume that it's a team sport and that the entire team suffers when you're clutching onto the ball more tightly than a secret.
Angel Reese is talking about if they don't get what they want, they're going to strike. She had a chance to walk it back. Casual setting. She's sitting there chilling with her friend Dejanay. They're just talking. Maybe when this hit the news, there was a chance for Angel to say, okay, well, hang on. This is being misconstrued. Nope.
And let's not even talk about the timing. The WNBA is now doing very well. There are more people watching the league than ever before, thrilling games, and emerging stars. With their incredible plays, selfless teamwork, and sincere hustle, players like Caitlin Clark are stealing the show. Everyone is reminded by Clark's skill, heart, and magical moments why they watch basketball. Angel is out there making every game into a blooper reel in the meantime. An unending series of self-inflicted injuries and lost opportunities. The way that Angel's shenanigans have changed the story around her is what's really intriguing. She was once a bright prospect, but now she's the subject of basketball jokes and a warning about what happens when ego takes precedence over hard work. And it's a quick fall from hopeful to headline-grabbing flop in a league where every player is vying for recognition. However, it goes beyond the stat padding and missed shots. It's about what this says about professionalism and leadership. Athletes who make bold claims must back them up with grit and steady performance rather than merely eye-catching Instagram photos or sound bites. Angel invited criticism with her boisterous declarations of her brilliance. And they don't simply brush it off when the results don't materialize. They begin to doubt your attitude and your entire game.
I'm about to tell y'all I haven't heard before, so I doubt you have either. Before the 2023 season, the WNBA had grown by 40% viewership from 2022 to 2023. But with Caitlin Clark's arrival, it's grown by 400% viewership. What that means is if the WNBA were continue to grow at the rate it grew from 22 to 23, it would take until 2028 to do what Caitlin Clark did this.
The public unloading by Coach Tyler Marsh was more than simply a casual criticism. It was a fast-break slam dunk wrapped in a reality check. It emphasized the stark disparity between Angel's perception of herself and her real influence on the court and brought out the phony numbers. It's the kind of warning that, if taken seriously, might serve as a wake-up call, but if disregarded, it could signal the start of a downhill spiral. Imagine the dynamics of the locker room now. Friction arises when a player ignores teammates, hogs the ball, and patties their stats. Chemistry, trust, and selfless play are essential for basketball teams to succeed. The coach pointed out that Angel's actions must be getting in the way of her teammates. You can bet that the whispered whispers in the locker room are about how much Angel is making the team's work more difficult rather than how amazing she is. This is when things become considerably messier. The aspect of money. On paper, Angel's demand for larger salaries makes perfect sense. You want to get paid appropriately if you believe in your abilities and worth.
Here's the harsh reality, though.
Money doesn't follow braggadocio. It follows performance. Sponsors and teams aren't exactly lining up with open wallets if your game isn't on par and you're turning games into comedic sketches. They may even be reevaluating how much they want to spend on a player whose highlight reel consists more of clutch performances than self-inflicted airballs.
Black and white sports reporters, well, we know the fiasco that is going on with the Chicago Sky last night. They got another drubbing by way of the New York Liberty. Angel Reese had her worst professional basketball game, and I'm not even stretching.
That's how close she is to making the difference in the league. The way her fans act, like she can be what her delusional fans think she is if she makes play.
Fans watch for the excitement, the tension, and the spectacular demonstrations of talent. Let's face it. Because Caitlin Clark is so captivating, they watch her. A ball magician who can thread a pass through the eye of a needle or drop a three from downtown. Reese, Angel. People pay attention to the did that really just happen moments. The ones that make you shake your head, grin, or perhaps wince a little. Comedy gold, but not so much in basketball. This also teaches a more significant lesson. The Angel saga is a perfect storm of misguided self-confidence, bad choices, and an ignorance of what really creates a legacy. Basketball legends are not created by inflating statistics or talking more than they actually do. They are developed via acts of selflessness, pivotal situations, and the capacity to inspire the entire team. The reverse is evident in Angel's behavior. As we analyze this drama, Let's also discuss the influence of social media. Angel's supporters may have first been won over by her outspokenness and extravagant statements, but with each wasted opportunity and stat-padding highlight, those supporters are becoming detractors. Your online reputation has the power to make or break you in the modern world. Additionally, Angel's Twitter feed is likely a labyrinth of memes and caustic observations at the moment.
The stat is embarrassing. WNBA did not start playing basketball till Caitlin Clark joined the league. She's got 3 triple-doubles through 41 games. That's the 3rd most all-time. She hasn't even played 50 games yet, and she's already 3rd all-time in triple-doubles. Like, were they not playing before she joined?
The basketball community, meanwhile, is waiting for the next installment of what has swiftly turned into a cautionary tale while watching with popcorn in hand rather than admiration. It resembles witnessing a car accident in slow motion. It hurts and is embarrassing, but you can't take your eyes off of it. What is the greatest irony? If Angel had just concentrated on playing good basketball, throwing the ball to teammates when they had plenty of opportunities, and perhaps, just possibly, letting the team's success shine on her. Right now, she would most likely be adored. As an illustration of how big talk without great outcomes is a surefire formula for disaster, she is instead on a one-way street to what could have been territory. Even though Coach Marsh's remarks appear harsh, if Angel is open to hearing them, they might be the beginning of something better. Because every player experiences difficult times, but not everyone acknowledges them and makes the required corrections. Is Angel satisfied to paddle in circles while the rest of the league moves on, or does she possess the humility and motivation to turn the ship around? Basketball is ultimately about more than just statistics. It's about respect for the game, heart, and collaboration. And if Angel Reese wants to become a player that people truly admire instead of just a joke, she needs to quit playing ball like she means it, stop the big talk, and give up the stat padding. Because no one is purchasing tickets to that event, and the only thing she is praising at the moment is her highlight reels blooper segment.
Night was further proof as to why people don't watch pretend basketball. Last night was further proof as to why people do not respect the WNBA. And they damn sure don't respect the pretenders who participate in these painfully boring games. I'm not just talking about the offensive performance from Angel Reese last night. Keyword, offensive. That is the only kind of offense that Angel Reese is capable of performing. Offensive offense.
So, basketball aficionados, fasten your seatbelts. Coach Marsh just blew the whistle on Angel Reese's performance, which is turning into a crazy season. One thing is certain, this drama is far from over, and the court is waiting for the next act, regardless of whether she learns from it or lets the criticism bounce off like a missed free throw. And believe me, it will be an incredible experience.